Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're recapping Family or Fiancé. Before we dive in, like and subscribe. Now that that's out of the way, we're on to Tiffany and Fred. From the beginning there appears to be problems. Tiffany thought there were no other females, but that does not seem to be the case. Even though they've been together for 6 years, there are members of the family that still have not met Fred. Tiffany fears the mistakes of the past, like his cheating, will affect how they view him. They go and they meet with Tracy, the relationship counselor. We hear that Tiffany feels like she was backed into a corner with Fred's marriage proposal, as he chose to propose to her on the first day of a week-long cruise. That seems like an orange flag to me. Tiffany is basically saying she only said yes because of how Fred proposed. Meanwhile, Fred seems clueless to any of what she is saying. That part seems like a red flag. Tracy picks up on how Fred disengages from them as a couple to engage with her. She asks if this is a pattern, and Tiffany says yes, it is. Fred dismisses this entire belief, believing it to be unimportant. He basically minimizes her feelings on the matter. And this to me is another red flag, because Fred is not hearing what Tiffany is saying, and he is disengaging from her to engage with others constantly. Tracy tells him that in this dynamic, Tiffany is not getting heard. She asks them about their issues. The biggest thing is the lack of trust, which began when Fred's cheating, that Tiffany saw the signs of, but Fred made her feel like she was crazy and was imagining things. I really hate when people gaslight you, trying to protect or minimize their bad behavior. It causes double hurt to the injured party. Fred says he feels bad for the cheating, but then says Tiffany thinks that cheating is even entertaining another girl, which he does not believe is cheating. Clearly, neither of them is on the same page, and Fred is coming off as a manipulator who dismisses all of Tracy's feelings to protect his misdeeds. Fred's mother, brother, and friend are coming on his behalf. None of them seem to have positive feelings about this union. Tiffany's mother, brother, and friend are coming on her behalf. Similar to Fred's family, Tiffany's family don't seem to be on board with this union either. Tracy gives Fred and Tiffany tasks to do with the families so that they can learn each other. She assigns Fred the Tower of Truth to do with Tiffany's family so that they can get to know him better. I have never seen this game end well. She assigns Tiffany 20 questions, beer pong style, to do with Fred's family so that they can get to know her better. But Tiffany is not sure if she can move on forward with the wedding without the family blessing. Then the families enter. Mama Fred does not seem to like Fred and Tiffany as a couple as much as she likes them separately. Tiffany's family turns up and we find out that her brother has never met Fred. He does not seem pleased. And Mama Tiffany comments that Fred already has a drink in his hand. Another because Fred seems to have a drinking problem. We go into the family meeting. Fred's brother thinks neither of them acts as if they are all in when it comes to this relationship, and Fred is way too friendly and flirty. I mean, if your own brother is saying this, what else needs to be said? Mama Fred thinks that a healing must happen after the cheating that occurred before a blessing can be received. Tiffany's brother said he does not know Fred from a can of paint and finds it disrespectful that they are only now meeting. I get it, but I feel as if this issue is for Tiffany more so than Fred. And also, when Tiffany introduces them, Fred should make an effort to bond with the brother, allow him to understand who he is, show him who he is as a person, so that he would be more willing to accept him as a partner for his sister. Mama Fred thinks that, Mama Tiffany does not feel that Fred is right for her daughter, and she is not willing to give her blessing at this moment. Fred is shocked by the entire family meeting, and I don't know why. Off the strength of the cheating alone, I don't know why he expected it to go any different. The group breaks up into games, and Fred is hoping for the best. Tiffany says Fred stopped making her feel happy when he cheated. Not just the cheating, but making her think she is crazy and gaslighting her. Allowing her to cry, looking at her crying, as he lied to her and made her feel that what she was seeing wasn't true. We go over to the side with Fred, and Fred tells Tiffany's family that he only cheated one time. At which point Mama Tiffany gathers him all the way together, lets him know it was one girl more than one time. He says it was probably 3 times. And they say that he acts as if that's nothing. He tells them it was 3 years ago, as if that makes a difference. Fred is giving me a feeling that it is more than one girl too, and he's way too shifty for my liking. He's coming off really bad between the drinking and the cheating. Fred seems to have a wandering eye, and Tiffany says as much when she's speaking to Fred's family. She just told me all she needs to know. Fred seems to be walking on paper-thin ice. They move on to the dinner scene, where they discuss the task. Mama Fred immediately comes to the defense of her son, and while I understand that, Fred seems incapable of taking responsibility for his own actions, all to the detriment of Tiffany and their relationship. Tiffany says she is 100% transparent to Fred, but he simply dismisses it all. She believes that Fred does not see there is a problem, and he does not accept accountability for his actions. For me, dealing with someone like that can be frustrating. They never really see until it is too late. And Fred has taken no accountability for any of his actions. In fact, at this point, Fred does not seem to know that he has done anything wrong in the past 6 years. Friends and family try to talk to Fred and get him to see the situations as they are unfolding. And Fred appears to have an aha moment. I say appears because we need to, you know how sometimes these things go. Fred can very well be just pretending. The next morning they meet with Tracy. Fred thinks everything the family said is all in his past and no one sees his progress with the exception of Tiffany. And he's working to change that now. At this point, I don't even think Tiffany sees Fred's progress. Tiffany is struggling with whether she is still in love with Fred or even if she wants to get married. She says it is dependent on change and she wants her feelings to matter to Fred. Fred is willing to change, he says, and shows some vulnerability. Tiffany is not even sure if what he is doing is real or if he can be consistent. Tracy says that she wants them to reconnect, and she asks them to have a romantic dinner, catered by Fred. All of this sounds problematic because Fred does not come across as a man who takes somebody else's needs into consideration. Therefore, I don't know how he would be able to plan a romantic dinner based on the needs or the wants or the desires of the woman who supposedly holds his heart. I don't even know if Fred knows where to start. Tiffany's family doesn't think Fred is into Tiffany, and meanwhile Fred's family is trying to coach him into filtering his words and saying the correct things when he's speaking to Tracy. To Tiffany. Basically, they want him to think before he speaks They want him to listen to her when she speaks. They want him to listen before he says anything else. They go into the dinner, and Fred thinks that he needs introspection after the way everyone has portrayed him for the past few days. Tiffany thinks that even in this moment, Fred is continuing to be dismissive of her, and she begins to shut down. Fred continues to deflect and be dismissive of Tiffany's words. No matter how much he says that was the old him, that old guy seems very much present in their current situation. He does not believe he has a problem with alcohol. Fred says all the right words, but his actions don't seem to follow his own words. So we go to day 3, the day of the blessing. Not one of those people in those families gave their blessing for the marriage, and I can't say that I'm surprised at all. Fred did not inspire confidence in his ability to provide consistent change. Tiffany says they have decided to postpone the wedding with no date, and they will both be working on their issues. Then Fred does an odd thing. He reproposes to Tiffany in front of the family. Sigh. And Tiffany accepts the ring. Why, girl? For what reason, if he has not shown any improvement yet? You just told him to get his act together, and this is the last time. Tiffany's brother is pissed, and I would be too. Rightly so, because Fred has not done anything for Tiffany to take back his engagement ring and be in a proposal with him again. There is no need for them to begin a brand new, start afresh engagement when Fred has not taken any steps to make any changes in his behavior. At the wrap-up, we see Fred is attending counseling and has cut back drastically on his drinking. The drinking that Fred said wasn't a problem. Tiffany believes that Fred is no longer entertaining women. Well, that's it for this week's family. I